Okay. Well, I got one thumbs up, so somebody's here. Uh, my purpose in this isn't really to gather a lot of people for a live stream. Hello, everybody, as you do come in. I appreciate that. Hopefully, you can hear okay. Uh, I'm actually in a place where I need to have the air conditioning on now. Go from cold weather to warm, and it gets pretty warm in here. So, at any rate, good morning. I want to say I appreciate you coming in. I know it's been a while, and it's going to be longer. I'm only doing this because a lot of people. I'm watching my Twitter account. I'm really not watching the comments or anything in YouTube on my YouTube channel. As I've told you before, I just don't do that. Uh, there are a lot of reasons. It's not to insult or to diss anybody there. It's just that with all of the comments that come in and what I have to do, I just don't have the time to go through all of those. So I hope you understand. Hello, Louisa. Hello, everyone. Liza Jean Williams, Mike Jordan, everyone. Uh, and yes, Merry Christmas to everybody. Absolutely. And if you're Jewish, of course, Hanukkah is over with now, but hopefully you did that. Yeah, just happy holidays for all the rest of you, but certainly Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. As I said in the last few live streams, there are a couple of reasons why I don't post right at this time of year. Now, last year was an exception. There were a lot of things going on, and I decided to go ahead and kind of keep up on the information as it was coming out, make commentary and that stuff. And again, I'm not a journalist, okay? I'm a little lazy in that regard. You know, I do a lot of the research and all that, but I'm no Lee Stranahan or that type. I am just a commentator, and I think you all understand that. And I comment based upon my training experience and those types of things. So, at any rate, last year I did quite a bit out. This year, not so much. And I told you that in several of the last videos that I did, that this time of year I travel quite a bit. I see family and friends, and I just, even though I keep up on the news and the information, and I have people giving me information all the time. Hello, Gloria Almond. How you doing? How uh, Halius Media. I'm not sure. Some of these I'm not sure how to say. Anyway, hello everybody again. So that's the first reason why you're not seeing me very much. But that's not the only reason, and I think most of you know that. The other reason why I'm not is because, frankly, all I'm doing is I'm talking about the same content, the same information repeated over and over again because nobody in government, no one, is willing to fix this problem. We have to be loud, yes, but apparently YouTube's not accomplishing that for a lot of reasons. So what little you will see of me over the next 2 weeks, maybe longer, will be on Twitter. What I am doing is I'm doing as much as I can to forward my displeasure to President Trump, and I think you all need to do that. Not that I think that we had any other choice or that we should think that we have any other choice, but just because, despite all of the good things that we're told he's doing by all of his apologists, the fact of the matter is that the country's going to hell in a handbasket real fast. There's no reason for him, in my estimation. I know I hear people, my Republican insider, for instance, all the time says, Roy's got all these people against him and all that. I really don't care. I really don't care. He's the president, and he can find a way to do it. It takes courage, though, and you know, every time I do one of these live streams, my formal ones, I've ended up saying, God bless Donald Trump and all of his righteous endeavors, that he will have the spirit of discernment to know the good from the right from the wrong, and to have the courage to do it. Well, I'm seeing an extreme lack of courage, and a lot of you are going to get upset at me for that. But I've been saying for how long now, that that his supporters are being taken down, are being harassed, are being persecuted, prosecuted, made up crimes, entrapments, all of these different things, and that if he didn't do something, it was going to get worse, and it is getting worse. Now they're going after people like Jerome Corsi, and I know a lot of you have a problem with him, so do I, but that's not, oh, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. That's not the point. And I'll get to that in a minute. And we see the New York AG, the new one that's coming in, saying that they're going to go after all the Trump family. They're going to look for crimes, not investigate crimes that they know about, but look for crime. So that's the way this entire thing is going right now. That's Soviet-style dictatorship, and Trump's doing nothing to stop it. I don't want to hear all this nonsense about all the stuff he's doing behind the scenes, okay? So what I said was this. I'm not going to do any more formal broadcasts, any more formal live streams, or anything else for that matter. Maybe once in a while, something like this, until I see an arrest. Because you'll remember I had two canaries in the coal mines. One was that Bundy's would be released, and along with that, the Hammonds were. And the second was that Hillary would be collared, and her people. And that's just not happening. As a matter of fact, we're further from it now, despite all of the information that we hear from that's happening behind the scenes, like that envelope that was given at the funeral. Boy, that sure turned into a big talking point. But the point that I'm making is this: until I see action on the ground. Remember, I said I'm not seeing on the ground the rhetoric that Trump is talking about. And you can't go cleaning everybody else's house out, telling them to clean their house and their manner of doing things. You can't tell them that until you do your own. And our government is the most evil, despicable, corrupt government on the face of the earth, bar none, because it's behind most of these bad things that happen. And you've heard me talking about that now for how many years? Go back. The reason why I'm not going to be posting much, another reason, not just because of the vacations, the holidays and all that, but it's because go back to 2009, look at what I've been doing since 2009 on YouTube. And things have just gotten worse. Yeah, Trump's gotten in office, but in fact, the evil is not being put down. Now, is he letting them hang themselves and all that? Well, that might be. But as I've said, until I see an actual collar on Hillary or one of her people, I'm not going to believe anything. And what I'm going to say to you is what I said in the last couple of my live streams, okay? We're on our own. We're just going to have to be willing to fare through this the best that we can. And you've heard me say it many times, get the right kind of people around you that you can trust. Prep, pray, stay out of the way. That pretty well sums it up. And pray a lot, because they're making things by and large much, much worse. So all I see Trump doing is whining in his tweets. Now it could be that he's baiting, Mueller and Hillary and all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't matter to me. While I understand feints, while I understand psychological warfare and all of that, until I see Trump do something where he collars one of these people, I'm just not believing. He's still filling his administration with neocons and rhinos and deep staters. And somebody mentioned Barr here a few minutes ago, and I agree. I mean, the guy's done some good things, but he's also a Bushite. He's also, I'm real, and I said, and I told my Republican insider this, if I see him put another person in there that's a neocon or a deep stater, I really got to reevaluate what Trump's really about. I'm supporting MAGA, the real MAGA. I'm supporting the Second American Revolution, and not by words. I've shown by my actions that that's what I'm willing to do. And I don't see it in the executive right now. I do not see it. What I see is somebody who's very coy and who's playing with words, trying to placate those out there who and actually even having possibly some type of a psychological operation to say he's doing something behind the scenes so that it excuses his lack of action in reality. I don't trust Mulvaney either. I've said it all right now, haven't I? He's still doing the same thing. He has multitudes of supporters out there that have the training and the experience that he could bring him in the White House. Oh, he doesn't know who they are? All he's got to do is ask a couple of the right people. Roger Stone, Colonel Schaefer, Kurt Schlichter, I think that's how you say his name. Pardon me, Kurt, if I said that wrong. There are people out there, and you can't tell me he doesn't know who they are. He has been a loner all of his life, as my Republican insider has said. He's usually had a very small staff that he's been with, and that's how he works, and I understand that. But if he cannot follow, if he can't adapt to the situation he's in, then he's not doing us any good. Okay, he's not doing us any good. If he refuses to adapt, or he can't adapt and change his method of operation, then all he's going to do is actually assist in the further destruction of the republic. Look, what are they doing in Oregon? What are they doing in California with the red flag laws? Do you remember when he supported the red flag laws? Do you remember when he said that? And people try to say, oh, he was just baiting, Pelosi and all that. No, he wasn't. He says, I want to go ahead and take the weapons and then do due process. That's a violation of the Constitution right off the bat. So I just wanted to come on and let everybody know that I'm what else am I going to say? If you want to see where my position is on things, all you need to do is go back and look at all of my videos since 2009. I'm surprised most of them are still up. They've caused some problems on a few of them, but most of them are probably because I really don't have that much influence. I'm not really sure. But yes, that's the whole deal. So I'm not very happy with what I'm seeing. Now they're going to come after his kids, and I've been warning about that. I mean, they tried already with the helicopter thing with Ivanka and Don Jr. and the white powder and all of that. They've sent all the messages, and it seems to me that Trump has backed away and is playing their game, not his own. There are those out there of you who are not going to like what I'm saying. They'll say, oh, he's a deep stater, he's an ever-Trumper. No. I'm not the one that made the promises that Trump said, the promises that he made. He made those promises. It's not up to me to sit here and excuse him for failing to follow his contract with us. Okay? Yes, it could be Zionist input. I mean, it could be anything. It could be everything. It doesn't matter. I see that Roosevelt was on here a few minutes ago, and I sent him some information as to why I've stopped as well. I've sent a lot of people this information. So, again, what I'm saying is, unless and until I see President Trump take an affirmative step in prosecuting Hillary and all of those people in the deep state, I can't trust him anymore. I can't. I've got to go out and tell people to prepare for what's coming, because it's not going to be pretty. If all of this has been for nothing, the blowback from the leftist Marxists is going to be horrible. It's seriously, it could be the Bolshevik Revolution in America all over again. It could be the Bolshevik Revolution all over again in America. Look at what these leftist Marxists say and do. There's nothing wrong with having a different ideology. But when we have people in positions of government who have taken the oath of office, or should be forced to take the oath of office to the Constitution of the United States, I like it on a Bible, but I'm willing to give on that a little bit, depending upon some situations. But to uphold the Constitution of the United States and then do what people like Representative Swalwell have done, and Dianne Feinstein, and Chuck Schumer, and I could name all the rest of them. Okay? There should be a penalty in the Constitution, and there really is, but it's never enforced. They should be removed from office, and I don't mean just by impeachment. I mean by the President of the United States arresting their asses. So, that's where we are. The leftist Marxists have been very successful in dividing our country, in dividing our minds and our spirits. And the other side, their concept of freedom is what gender they want to choose. Not what they were born as, but what gender they want to choose. Or their right to, whatever. Dress the way they want or whatever. They have no concept of what real God-given rights are that are supposed to be protected by the Constitution of the United States. And that's the fault of our government. They've actually pushed all of this nonsense. They've actually accepted it and pushed it. When was the last time any of your kids were taught about the Constitution in a public school? In a real class, a real honest-to-goodness understanding or lesson on the Constitution. No, they're going to talk about Islam. They're going to talk about China, right? So at any rate, Yeah, there are a lot of people that are controlling us, and I understand that. People are saying APAC and all that. I understand. You know, I'm against dual citizenship to hold office, elected office, and maybe even in bureaucratic offices in the United States, law enforcement offices, things like that. If you're a double citizen, you should be prohibited from holding office because it's very easy to understand. A man serving two masters, you can't serve both of them. You're going to love the one and hate the other, right? And that's exactly what's happening. Now they can do it secretly, and it's still a problem. But then they should be prosecuted. The only people that get prosecuted are the little people that try to stand up for the constitutional republic and its principles. So that's where I'll end this, and I'm sorry I'm not answering a lot of questions. There are a lot of things I could talk about, ladies and gentlemen, but again, the specifics don't matter anymore. I've talked about the specifics until I'm blue in the face. Well, a little red because of the light here, but you get the idea, okay? If you want to know what my position is, go back, as I said, and look at all of those prior posts. It's all outlined. I was talking about the FBI corruption 3 years, well, actually, back as far as my career goes, because I saw it. But on YouTube, I've talked about the problem with the intelligence community from day one, and people are just figuring it out now. I figured it out a long time ago. So there's just not a whole lot more I can say. Oh, I could talk about this specific situation. Oh, Trump has put, he allowed Pompeo to put Kissel in. Oh, and I did mention that, right? Or I could mention, he signed this USMCA, which if you look at it, it's no real difference than the NAFTA. It still puts us under UN control. I thought he said he's going to get us away from UN control. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because he can't do everything. But if he doesn't have people around him that will carry out his agenda, his objectives, and he doesn't because he keeps hiring people that are counter to him. On purpose he does that. So all I can say is it must be he's doing it on purpose. And if that's the case, ladies and gentlemen, we really are in trouble. So I sent this thing out to a lot of my friends, and a lot of those I see Roosevelt, I sent it to him too. The way I look at it right now is that his ace up his sleeve, his only card on the table that he's holding close to his chest, the only one, is the declassification of all of this nonsense and corruption in the IC, including the Department of State, everything. There are dangers in that, but we can't hold other nations accountable for their actions against us unless we are willing to hold our own against the things that they've done against us. We need to hold them responsible. To hell with this stuff about, it's going to reveal sources and methods. Yeah, the sources and methods are criminal. That's why they don't want to talk about it. So, again, I'm going to say it again, okay, to everybody. Until and if Trump declassifies now, okay, that's the thing. That's his only card left. There really isn't one unless he has groups in the DOD, as I've called for before, the Marine Corps, the DOD, people that he can trust, that can raid these IC agencies. And I know that's going to be a problem. I know it is. This is going to set off probably a shooting war, but it's going to be there anyway, or they're going to poison and kill out. Look what they're doing to your skies. He hasn't stopped that. He ought to say, if we see a plane up there spraying something, we're going to shoot it down. Or we're going to force it down if it's a passenger jet that they put this stuff in. Nothing's happening. Nothing. Nothing's stopping this destruction of our environment. You've heard a lot of people, and I talked about this many years ago. I keep jumping around here, I know. Our world works on the life cycle. The life cycle requires water, carbon dioxide, oxygen, and sunlight. And they keep wanting to say that carbon dioxide is a poisonous gas, a greenhouse gas. And they want to cut off the sun, which provides sunlight for photosynthesis. In other words, they're going to cut down the carbon footprint, which will also cut down the oxygen footprint. And then what do you have? Life dying off is what you have. And I can't believe, I have grandkids that are trying to tell me how bad carbon dioxide is. And I'm saying, and I tell them, I say, where are you getting that information? Well, the schools are telling us that. Where's President Trump telling his education people to stop this nonsense? Really? So I say to them, you see that plant over there? What does it breathe? Aren't they teaching? These are seniors in high school and in college. I said, I'll tell you what they breathe. They breathe carbon dioxide and they exhale oxygen. And they can't do that unless they have nutrients, water, and light for photosynthesis. So you tell me why blocking the sun is a good idea. Trump has failed to put people in his administration that will do the will of the constitutional republic American people. He's refused to, not just not been able to. He could reach out and get all these other. Who is he trying to please? The people in Congress? The deep state? The military industrial complex? And I've talked about all of this stuff before. No, son, the sun doesn't cause skin cancer unless you get too much of it. If you don't get enough of it, you get other diseases, okay? It's all about, and that's not going to block it for your cancer anyway. You're going to get cancer from other things, not getting the proper nutrients because the plants can't process it. Stop monkeying with the Earth's atmosphere. Stop monkeying, stop playing around with what God set up in his wisdom. And if you don't believe in God, nature set up in its wisdom. So, I'm going to end this now. I've already gone over 20 minutes, but I just wanted everybody to understand what I've done here, okay? Christmas, these holidays, I travel, as you can see. I'm in a very nice place right now, enjoying a little refreshment. Okay? So I really don't have time to do it or a desire to do it. I don't want you to think I'm leaving you alone. But it's like I said, there are a lot of people out there that are doing great things and are talking great things. And they have, really good information. I just assume that you go to them. What more can I say? What more can I say? So, if you want to entertain yourself with what the Potter expositors talked about for almost 10 years now, go back and look at all my posts. You'll see what I've done here, and you'll see the actions that I've taken, that I've been able to take. Okay, the actions I've been able to take. I don't just talk. Trump's done a lot of good things, but I've said all along, if he doesn't clean house, everything he'll have done is going to be for naught. Even people like Ann Coulter and Laura Ingraham are starting to say that. The day that Trump leaves office, they'll wipe out his legacy just like he thought he was going to wipe out Obama's. Well, guess what? He hasn't wiped out Obama's legacy. It's very much intact. Very much intact. Now, God says protect Israel. I'm not going to get into that. If you talk to an Orthodox Jew, they'll tell you that the Israel today, the state of Israel is not God's, and he's not talking about the state of Israel. And I know there are people like Trey Smith that are onto that and all of that, but I'm not going to get into that discussion. I'll just tell you that by their fruits you shall know them, okay? And I'm not real happy with the state of Israel's fruits, okay? Israel was dispersed amongst the world, amongst the nations. And it's a law that's written in certain people's hearts and in their mind. That's the real Israel, not some political organization over there that was dreamed up by the British royalty. But I'm not saying that Israel doesn't have a right to exist. It does, just like any other nation. But don't tell me that God set that thing up, because the fruits of it are proof that he did not do that. Okay? So we could talk about that again, and I'm not going to bother to go into that much more. Okay, look, I'm done. Again, don't expect to see me making any posts until Trump makes an arrest. Okay? That's just the way I feel. I can't say anymore. Every specific situation that I comment on is so similar to all the others I've talked about for years. It's really, it's just repeating myself over and over again, and that's all we do is do this, and it's got to change. So you got to get out and do something, okay? I was at Bundy Ranch, for instance. I came up against the Boston bombing deal. Oh, this is interesting. Monty, you're calling me in. I can't do a phone call and this at the same time, and I apologize because I'm on my phone. So I'll call you back when we're done here. I'd love to get you on the air, but I don't have it set up that way. So I apologize. This is Monograph calling me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so that's where we're sitting at this point, and I really don't know what else to do. Uh, this is, I mean, the American people could rise up like the Yellow Jackets are, right? We could do something like that. When we did, look what they did at Bundy Ranch. Look what they did at the Boston police massacre in the 30s. If you don't know about that, you need to look at it. Look what they permitted the railroads to do to the Irish immigrants in Colorado in the late 1800s and early 1900s. And it's no different today. Even though the people are the final arbiters of their liberty, if you're going to stand up against these people, you need to have organization and leadership. And under the present circumstances, they've got that all figured out. Look at Infraguard. Look at how the CIA has infiltrated everything. You can't sneeze but what they don't know you. Now they've got these little things here that they can keep track of anything you say. No, I'm not married. Okay? I date, but I'm wondering if that's even a good idea. I'm not real happy with what I see. Uh, yeah, that's another story. Okay, so yeah, the potato famine. Yeah, manufactured by the British. There you go. There you go. And I could go on and on. And there really isn't much that I can say. All I can say is that Trump is not exhibiting the courage as I've prayed that he would. And I said this on one of my videos, right? I said that the Spirit of God will not always strive with man. We can pray for Trump, but if he refuses to listen to the Spirit of God, God's going to finally say, okay, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. I put you where you are, and you're refusing to fulfill your contract with me and with the people that put you there. Well, it could be the deep state and the Rothschilds that put him there, but you know what I mean, as far as the votes are concerned. Okay? It's his fault. And I'm not giving him any quarter on this any longer. So what? Little former Lieutenant Colonel Roy Potter, right? Yeah, sure. Yeah, what difference does that make? Well, that's the way it is. All right. Okay. I'm going to be headed out. I do have things to do, people to see, places to go. And a lunatic. If I could block you on this thing, I would. I don't put up with any of that nonsense anymore. But that's okay. Thanks all of you for coming. I appreciate you here. I wish I could see what October Rains and Monty's actually saying there, and all the rest of you. But at least somebody tweeted me. I am active on Twitter to a little bit of an extent, and that's where I'm going to go to a Periscope here in a few minutes. If you want to go there, if you want to Twitter and watch a Periscope, or go to Periscope and watch a Periscope, I'm going to do the same thing there. I might even answer more questions there. But I wanted to get this out to explain. I'm not hiding. I'm not afraid of people threatening me. I know how to defend myself, and I've got people around me that know how to do it too. Okay, everybody that I deal with, their weapons qualified. Okay, in more ways than one. So all those people making threats against me, I don't even pay attention. Actually, I don't even know about it. People tell me about it, and then I find out. Okay. So no, I'm not afraid of anything or any deal like that. It's just, this is what I do. I travel. Okay, and until Trump, like I said, the ace off his sleeve is this declassification. And if he doesn't do that, and if he doesn't collar Hillary Clinton, bar the door, okay? Because we're on our own. Okay, everybody. Hey, in case I don't see you again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'll probably come up. My Periscope name is the same as here. It's it's at Roy, I think is what it is on Periscope. Okay, no, that's Gab. I don't remember. Just look up Roy Potter. You'll find it. I'll be on Periscope in about a half hour or so. Well, maybe a little less than that. Thanks for everybody coming by. Take care. Okay, we'll see you.